The real damage comes after the incident already settled, already with the dust already settled. We see the accident in front of us. Now you need to ask yourself, is there room for your business in the world? Cybersecurity incident can cause businesses to go out of business. That's as simple as that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our part two of this first episode of the ABBA Business Podcast. And I'm Pastor Ron, and with me is our dear brother, Ken Heffer, the CEO and President of CyTech International. And we will continue with what we have already started to discuss about cybersecurity and everything about it. And Ken, we've talked about the cybersecurity landscape of the Philippines, including the threats, and you've described it very powerfully about this supply chain as a major consideration where
Right.
vulnerability usually come into play. But let's put this in a concrete picture. So, like for example, there's a company with 2,000
Mhm.
employees, and there's a data breach. Payroll records and government IDs being exposed. What would that look like in the as an actual damage? And so like, what's the effect when there is a breach? How will that impact on the company and even the employees or even the business as a whole?
Well, that's a very interesting part of cybersecurity that you touch on because that's the one that everybody see in front of them. Um, what will be the damage if something happens to me? And everybody's looking at it from the wrong angle, I must say. That's why cybersecurity is so popular in the industry, and it feels like it's a growing monster, like mentioned before, because the perception of the damage of cybersecurity is wrong. You asked me the question: 2,000 employees, data breach, government ideas, payroll, all this leaked. Correct. There is the incident, there is the accident, let's call it, there is the immediate damage of data leaked, right? How do you take control of that? How do you restore trust in your company? How do you handle the fallout of this information being leaked through your company? Government ideas, that's huge. Okay, the government or the subjects, the owners of the government ideas, the people trusted you with their IDs and put them with you, and now it leaked through your systems. So how do you deal with that? But that's the wrong perception, because the fallout, the real damage is not there. The real damage comes after the incident already settled, already with the dust already settled. We see the accident in front of us. Now you need to ask yourself, is there room for your business in the world? Cybersecurity incident can cause businesses to go out of business. That's as simple as that. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to say, you have to do cybersecurity. No, it's a choice. There are two types of organizations, and I think we mentioned that before. One that got breached, and one that don't know that they got breached. I'll try to simplify it to talk about incidents and the fallout and the impact of those incidents. When when we look at organizations, we look at two types of organizations. One that spend on cybersecurity, meaning that when you have an incident, you start spending money. And then the other one is when you invest in cybersecurity. Unfortunately, most organizations in the world will spend on cybersecurity, meaning they're with their back against the wall. And I think we mentioned that last time. They're with their back against the wall, and then they have to do cybersecurity, and then they do it, which is okay. However, the question is, when the incident happened, what is the real impact? The impact is to tell the story of the incident. Okay, when somebody tries to understand the incident, and that somebody can be your next attacker, can be your next employee that comes in to do cybersecurity for you, can be your next vendor that looks at your organization and say "Yeah, how dangerous it is to work with this company for me," or it can be your regulator, the government, somebody that comes in to do the retrospective on your organization. And let me tell you what will happen to a 2,000 employee organization when they experience a cybersecurity incident. First, there's the immediate cleanup. Somebody will need to go out and explain to the world what happened and why this company is still in control. Then there will be the realization. People around will first, maybe the first few hours, believe whoever CEO comes out and says, "We are under control, we're okay, we're doing this, we're doing that." Then people will see that they're not in control. The leak is already out of your control. So you have options. The CEO comes out and says, we are accountable, we take full accountability, we will fix this, we will make sure to be transparent. This is one message. Most companies, 2,000 employees, will say, we're in control. We take care of this. Don't worry, we got the best experts in the world. We brought CyTech, we brought Chen, everybody's here. We're good. And that's the false message, because that's not what is happening. And people will understand. People are not stupid. There are social media today, right? We're using social media to spread the word today. That will happen real time. And then will come the drawing of the fire. Okay, after people will realize, in those people, in this crowd, in this audience that is judging you now by your business and by the leak, or by being the criminal of the world of leaking data of everybody, then some of this audience will be people with power to influence the next steps that your organization takes. Either another hack, either ambulance chasers, meaning vendors that are running after those incidents saying, "I can solve this for you, I can say," but they're going to sell it premium 10, 20 times than the market price. Or the worst thing that can happen to your organization is a knock at the door by your regulator, by your government, saying, "Hey, we know that you got a data breach. You're in violation of 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to settle this, to have us by your side. We need you to pay 400,000 euros fine." And you see that I'm being very specific in what I'm saying, because I've been there, done that, seen everything, and I can tell you firsthand, cybersecurity impact is not perceived right. The impact starts before the incident, because what will happen after the dust settled and the impact of the incident is being understood by the audience, those with power will do the retrospective. We'll look at what you did before the incident, and we'll try to understand the opportunity they have with you. So the less you did for cybersecurity, the less you invested in cybersecurity, the more fine you will get from your government, because you were negligence. You neglect cybersecurity. You put it off. You waited for something to happen. So the fine will be higher. If you invest in cybersecurity, the fine will be smaller, because things happen. We don't have 100% security. Nobody can provide 100% security. But if you invested, if you can show that you were not negligent, you did not neglect cybersecurity, you did not put it off, you put the effort, you got certified, you got audited by external parties, and then things happen. One other thing will happen. The impact will be minimal, because you will already have the controls to contain the incident. So 2,000 employees organization that got data leak. One question for you. Did they do cybersecurity before the incident? Yes or no? Different impacts. One, you can lose your business completely, lose the business. Two, you can deal with it. Your insurance will cover it. That's the question. So if you start your path today in cybersecurity, and you look at cybersecurity as a cost center, and you look at cybersecurity as a hassle, and you look at cybersecurity as a burden, know this: it will hurt more after the incident. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just putting the reality out there. Okay? Organizations, now we'll end with this because I know that we're short on time. Organizations in management and organization owners, company owners, will pay for cybersecurity either before or after the incident. That's the
But
harsh truth. It will cost them money. The question is this money a spend, an expenditure, or an investment? You can look at it as a
wow,
tax,
yeah.
or you can look at it as a growth revenue generator, growth mechanism.
So Ken,
That's the difference. Yep.
yeah, you're saying actually cybersecurity is not even an option. It's something that you just have to choose which one. Is it
You know,
before the
I'm sorry to
incident
cut
or
you off,
after?
but
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but yes, absolutely. When I started my first business back in 2011, I was told by a very good friend of mine, owner of a law firm and all that. He said, "Chen, you need two things when you start your business. You need a good lawyer, you need a good accountant. Before you even pay yourself, before you even start working with the authorities, you need a good lawyer and a good accountant by your side. Why? Everything needs to be backed with the contracts and the
yeah,
language and all that. An accountant will help you deal with everything. You're about to make money. That's not a salary. That's not somebody else taking care of your paying taxes. That's somebody that's you now. So you need
yeah,
a good accountant by you, right?
yeah,
In time, I added a third one. You need a good technical person by your side. Because any business today, even technology oriented businesses, even CyTech as a technology oriented business, we need technology to grow, not
yeah,
just to show. We use technology to grow. Today with the AI, with social media, look at what we do. We use
yeah,
technology. Here in the
yeah,
Philippines, I'm in Colorado, halfway around the world, and we use technology. How do we use it right for
yeah,
our business? And cybersecurity is part of the technology. It's not a technology oriented field, but we use technology to enhance cybersecurity.
yeah, yeah. Wow. And I think that's very revealing. And in terms of impact, can you imagine? It's a matter of, if you look at, let me quickly summarize what you said because it's very powerful, Ken. That how you look at cybersecurity, if you think it's an expense and you
Right,
then that probably it's going to cost you more in the end, because the other
right,
side of the equation is it's an investment where even before anything happens, you're already investing, preparing everything, the company, so that it's a matter of when there's going to be a breach, then you're prepared, and you, as you were saying, the impact will be minimal when you have invested in all preventive measures for cybersecurity. Did I summarize it right?
cybersecurity. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you get me triggered here. But cybersecurity is part of your health of the business.
Yeah,
There's financial health.
yeah,
There's people's health. There is technology health,
yeah,
which is cybersecurity. So health is basically that. If you invest in your health, you will probably live longer and better. If you
yeah.
neglect your health, you'll live shorter and harder.
And
That's
even probably more
cybersecurity.
costly, more costly with all
Exactly.
the
It's going to cost you
medication.
more to grow older, right? It's going to
Yes,
cost you more to succeed in your business. You want to
yes,
hit 1 million. No cybersecurity, it will cost you, I'm just throwing a number, 800,000. With cybersecurity, it costs you 500,000. You want to grow from 1 million to 10 million. With cybersecurity, it will cost you 2 million. Without not just for cybersecurity, the growth itself.
yeah.
Without cybersecurity, it will probably cost you 5 million. And you want to grow from 10 million to 100 million a year. Think about the numbers then. How hard it is to grow from $10 million a year to $100 million without cybersecurity. You
Yeah.
will end up spending tens of millions of dollars on technology because you don't have good health technology.
I completely agree, Ken. And in fact, that's the problem of many companies because they don't
Right.
see this. No, they don't understand the
Of
real
course, that's
story.
why the diet market is so big. Trillions of dollars spent on diet, yet everybody's fat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. And actually, Ken, now that you've explained it well, I think that brings us to this very important topic on the partnership that Yeshua
Yep.
Abba and CyTech International is getting into this very important partnership because there's so many problem. Many companies they don't understand this, and they need this reality to be open and discussed. And on the part of Yeshua, we've been doing a lot of services, building platforms. Hundreds of companies have been trusting us, thousands, hundreds of thousands of users. And yet we have come to this point, Ken, that we need we need someone, and that's CyTech International, who can really help us in protecting our infrastructure, our data at a world class level, and
Right.
that's why we really appreciate this partnership with CyTech. Now, Ken, um, to help our audience understand how it makes sense on your part also to partner with Yeshua here in the Philippines. And of course, we've been discussing about, going even abroad and even the US. So, but here in the Philippines, can you help our audience understand how this partnership makes sense?
Sure, sure. That's to me that's a very clear answer. But yes, obviously, I will share SciTech interest in this partnership the way you described it. Um, First and foremost, um, we work with people. We work with people, not with technology, not with brands, not with names. Everything is a second priority. The first priority for me to expand SciTech is through the people. And what I found in you as the leader of Yeshua Abba is the faith. We share the faith. We share the values. We share the family values, us as family people, hardworking people that are, leading their pack, leading their family, hoping to do the right thing in this world to be worthy of the next. So I think that's the first foundation of this connection between us. Now, business-wise, it needs to make sense. So, um, Yeshua Abba is very strong in the Philippines in terms of payroll and HRS, very innovative with their technology. What you did with your HRS, HR information system, is literally taking HR, putting it all in one box, and make it super accessible and informative to people that are not doing HR. I'm not doing
Yeah.
HR. I have people doing HR for me. Yet when I look at Yeshua, when I look at the HRS that you built, I'm amazed how simple it is. So to me, to partner with innovative technology means that I'm getting to, I'm passing the line. I'm moving to the head of the line with you where you are,
Yeah.
standing next to you and talking to the audience, enjoying the light of Yeshua, enjoying the light of what you build, of your company. This is one business interest. The other business interest is that the Philippines require a person like you, Pastor On, a person like you, to be the person of trust. So people will do businesses with people they know, they like, and trust. People might know me through this podcast. People might like me through this podcast, but I can guarantee that almost none of them will trust me until they meet me and decide on their own.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're the person of trust in the room to me, that when I partner with you, I say, you know me, you like me. Guess what? You can also trust me and trust this partnership that we have together. Business oriented, there's so much more that I see in front of me when I look at this partnership with Yeshua Abba. Your team is very professional, very enthusiastic, very motivated. I see their work that they do. I see your clients. I see how your clients are talking to us, talking to SciTech. When we present what we do for you, they don't give you easy time. They give you hard time because they're being very, very thorough in their due diligence to know what you do and how you do it. And then I see the trust that you have with your clients. They want to know that they're okay, and they handed it over to you. And it's amazing to see this relationship that you build. So to me, um, ABBA initiative, Yoshua ABBA, the platform, the people, and you as the leader, is something that I cherish and I value. I look up to you in what you did in the Philippines and hoping to contribute our own little, you know, part in cybersecurity in the growth of your business, hoping that it will serve the greater purpose of that we both share.
Yeah. Ken, thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words and appreciation also of what we do. And yeah, in fact, CyTech being part of the Yeshua family now um, makes all sense, in terms of like it's like completing one more puzzle that's missing in Yeshua, and that's
Yeah.
cybersecurity. And you're the one, no? And especially with our
Mm.
relationship, you're a brother to be Ken, and this mindset, this desire, this conviction to serve people and be a blessing. We have the same heart and mind on that, and it's just a blessing. And that's why we're so excited, Ken, with our partnership. And this leads us
Thank
actually,
you.
being a Filipino, this leads us to a very important component or element, which I would say one of the strongest elements in this partnership, that you are US based. Okay,
Right.
because Ken, part of to tell you the culture of the Philippines is part of how we look at how we can trust a service provider is who's behind it. Okay,
Mm.
and having SciTech, and especially that you have your US based data center infrastructure, I mean that spells a big difference
Yeah.
as a service provider here in the Philippines. That's why it somehow it boosted our confidence, of course, and of course with your years of experience, your background, really, somehow sealed the deal that we're here to really bless more businesses. So, Ken, having
Right.
said that, probably these are our final question because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But can you help us understand, especially our audience, in terms of describing our data center, what this US based infrastructure is all about, and why they should, our audience, our Filipino clients should really appreciate that we have you with us.
Wow, I'm not going to talk about me or SciTech. Why it's so fortunate to have us that one I leave to you, but I'll try to explain the differentiator between having a data center in the U.S. versus having a data
Yes.
center anywhere else in the world, especially in the Philippines. So, the world of technology. Obviously, I'm not going to expose here in the public architecture and things that we do, but yes, we built a data center that is based here in Colorado, in the United States. And that data center enjoys quote unquote everything that the US has to offer to data centers. That one I'm gonna put aside, and then I'm gonna talk about general information about data centers and the way it works. Um, the world got today kind of a wake up call with the war that we see with the Gulf, with Iran
Yeah.
and the Middle East. My home country, Israel, under constant attacks by the extreme, crazy Iranian regime. That's unfortunate to everybody, especially for the people of Israel, the people of Iran. Um, while watching the news, we also got a reminder of what data centers are. Data centers are at the heart of the free world's assets. The free world has a lot of assets to be free: trade routes, diplomacy, strong governments, freedom to the people, democracy, and data centers. Data centers are power. They're part of power of a society. And having a data center in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, in the Gulf, to have them there made sense because the UAE made deals with the US of a lot of money, more than $1 trillion, $1.3 trillion for the next 5 years. In order for the US to support these deals, we had to build data centers in the UAE to allow growth, especially in the AI, manufacturing, development, and all that. Those data centers are now backed by Amazon, by AWS, Amazon Web Services. They're built there. It's physical facilities underground with everything that AWS, Amazon can give the data centers. They're being marked. The cross is being put on them by the Iranian regime, and missiles and drones are hitting those data centers. This is the wake-up call, because a data center is just another person's computer, somebody else's computer. However, when your data center is being targeted, you're saying not the data, not the data center, not the computers, not the facility is important. The freedom is what's important. And then I'm going to ask you a reverse question. When I'm talking about the data and the computers and the facility and the freedom, where do you think that one is better protected? I'm not asking Philippines. I'm asking worldwide. Is it US based or is it anywhere else in the world? Is it US based? Don't answer that question because this is a rhetoric question. I'm just letting our viewers answer the question in their head.
All right.
The internet was established in the US. This is the place that we call the land of the free. The freedom that we have here is embedded in everything you see, including the bad things. This country is so free that when I come back from visiting the world, anywhere else in the world, I come back home. Here, I call this also home, Colorado.
Yeah.
I say to my family or the people around me, gosh, we don't understand how much freedom we have here. This is the place of freedom. President Ronald Reagan, back in the 80s said, shared a story. He met a Cuban illegal immigrant in a facility that was detained. Somebody from Cuba crossed the border overseas and all that. And the president asked that guy, why did you do that? He said, because there's nowhere else that I can go and really be free. And then President Reagan says, and it's on YouTube and you can find it online. He says, then I realized as the president of the United States that this is the place that freedom will live or die in the world. The United States is really the place of freedom. We can say that we have complete freedom here to be anything, to do everything, and we are very well protected. So when you talk about your US data center, it's protected as part of the establishment that we have in the US. I'm not saying it's immune. I'm not saying no war can happen here. God forbid. God protect. God bless America. God protect America. God protect the free world, the Philippines, the Israel. I know that here the establishment is stronger than anywhere else in the world that I could offer it. I could build the data center anywhere else. We have an office in Israel. I could build it over there. Very well protected, very good facilities over there. Israel, the top of the world, it's called the startup nation or the high-tech nation for a reason. I could build it in Singapore. We have an office in Singapore. I could build it in the Philippines. It would even cost me less. But no, the establishment has to be here in the US because it inherits from the country, from the society, from the technology that we have around us. It inherits a lot of resiliency, a lot of maturity that I can now enjoy, and along with me, all the other business partners, Yeshua ABBA can enjoy that part. So it's great to have data centers in the Philippines, in UAE, in Israel, and anywhere else in the world. But the top data centers that you can have are based here in the US. And that's why we invested in it. We keep investing in it. We built it in a way that is, compliant with all the harsh standards that we have here, the ISO, the SOC 2 Type 2, and all those standards. However, it's not immune, as I say, but it gives me the peace of mind that I did that part the best of my knowledge, the best of my capability, and now I can back it up with our partners and say, yes, your infrastructure now is hosted in a US data center. However, since we're not immune, we're also backing it up. So our fallback plan is one of those three big names, Google, Amazon, or Microsoft. So this is our fallback plan. So when there was a complete shutdown in AWS, for example, a few months ago, somebody updated DNS records over there, and there was a complete shutdown for almost a week.
Yeah.
Our data center was not impacted.
Yeah. Wow.
So a
Amazing.
lot of businesses, huge businesses, enterprises, online SaaS companies in the US based were down for a few days. Some of our clients actually impacted by that because they're working with AWS. We had zero downtime. Again, I'm not saying we're immune,
Yes.
but the facility here, again, it's a fallback on one of the three, on GCP, AWS, or Azure, but it's not that. It's independent. It's strong. It's very, it's built to fit to the business that we have with our business partners. That's why I think this is a differentiator now to Yeshua Abba, to say you really went all in on this one. Once you decided to move to the US data center here by CyTech, you made a huge leap in your business.
And
Huge jump in your business, in your offering to your clients. And I'm not just saying it because I'm biased, but because it's a fact.
yeah, it's
Look at data centers worldwide now being impacted by all these crazy things that are happening out there. Thank God. And again, God bless America. God bless this country. God bless our freedom. We know that we are better protected here.
And brother, I can't say anymore. No, I cannot add to what you just perfectly described. The kind of, in fact, I would look at it as a privilege that Yeshua Abba is now um, at home in the U.S. data center of CyTech International. I mean, I could not even ask for more. That's the
I,
best thing.
I can also add to this. I can also add to this something that we know that you and I already started talking about it. But obviously, Yeshua Abba is far greater than the Philippines, right? So expansion outside the Philippines, you're doing what you're doing in the Philippines. That's great. I started my business in Israel. Great. But look at where I am now. Expansion is the name of the game. The business grow. The business is like a tree. If you don't stop it, it will continue growing, right? And that's what we want to do with Yeshua Abba. That's what we want to do with all our business partners. That's what you want to do for your business partners, for your clients. You want to bring this gospel. You want to bring this thing, this awesome thing that you build to other markets, including the US. So when you knock on the door of somebody outside the Philippines, they're going to ask you, where are you hosted? You're going to say the US. It's different. It's different. It adds to the trust. It adds to the comfort that you give to your business partners in partnering with you.
Definitely, definitely. And Ken, thank you so much for really sharing that. I think that's very clear for our audience to appreciate that Yeshua Abba is all in terms of securing your data,
Right.
your transactions, your information. And we have CyTech International as a real partner into protecting and ensuring that everything will run smoothly in the years to come by God's
Right.
grace.
Right.
And
Amen to that.
amen. And so we just ran out of time, Ken, and we will continue with this. We will still have part three, friends, and
Sounds good.
yeah. So for now, that's all. And Ken, thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank you.
we will be discussing more on part three. All right.
God bless you. God bless our audience, and happy Passover. I know it's the Holy Week now.
Yes.
So wishing all the best, and God bless to everyone that are watching us. Whatever faith you carry, keep carrying it.
Amen.
That's the way to go.
Ken, thank you so much, brother. God bless you always and your family.
Thank you,
And
brother. Thank you.
we'll continue on part three. God bless. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.